Alright, welcome back. In the last video, we got started with Azure repos, wherein we created our first repo. We understood how you could clone it onto your local system, and then we made some changes over there and pushed our changes onto Azure repo. Then we used bunch of work items because every commits uh, generally is associated with one or more work items. So we saw how you could link your commits with the stories just like this. We did it with the UI as well, how you could go to Azure repos and use Azure repos rich text editor to make the changes. So we're going to continue with that, and we're going to talk about few of the more features like how the Azure pull how the Git pull works, how you could get started with pull request and start making changes onto your branches and push the commits. So when you work in a real life scenario, when you work in within a team, you are not only the single person who works on a repo. There are multiple folks who are working on the repo. So just like we made a change onto our repo from the UI, remember we went ahead and we made a changes onto the repo from the UI. Now this on our system, it doesn't know that somebody made a change. So what do you do first? So to make sure that this particular repo onto your Azure DevOps is synced with what I have in my local system, so that anybody who has made the changes after my changes is also synced up. How do you do that? You do a git pull, and it kind of pulls out everything, whatever the changes. There were two lines of changes, and it say that it had one file and two insertion. If you look over here, there were underneath the sync. So if I go ahead and make the changes again, probably introduction 1.1, do a commit, and if I come back over here, if I just hit a refresh, it's gonna the sync over here is gonna it's taking some time, but it's gonna let you know that okay, one commit, you're behind one commit, so probably you can sync from here as well. So instead of doing a git pull, you could do right from your terminal as well. So if you go back to the Azure Visual Studio Code editor, and if you go to the source code and click on the Git button right over here, you could see the history as well, what has been done so far. So it started right from here. You added a README onto your branch, and then you pushed the changes onto the master, the latest one. You could click on it and see whatever the changes to added, and if you click over here, you could see some more information. You could add tags as well to your commits, and you could use that later. You could create a branch right from this particular commit. So if you want to make sure that okay, I want to work on a different branch, you could do that right from the UI. So it's a pretty rich UI wherein you get to see okay, what were the branches you're working on, who were the committers who were making the changes. You could see that all of the changes were done by me, and yeah, that's why it gives you the latest changes right from here. So if you go back to your readme and open, you see the sync button right over here. It's 0 0, means nothing to change, nothing to push, nothing to pull. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I am onto the branch master. I've already feature branch. So how do you switch from a different branch to the branch you want? You do a git checkout, select the branch, and you see that branch is now switched to feature Shan. If you hit click enter get branch, you see that it's been now pointing to the feature branch. Now whatever changes you make, maybe you probably add a new file, main.tf, and you don't want to, what's the purpose behind creating your own branch? Generally everything is not pushed onto the master branch. You want to make sure that you do the development first, you test the code on your local system or some build or CI server, and then once you're fully aware and confident that your change is going to not break anything on the production, you then push the changes onto the master branch, because master is the source of truth where everybody kind of takes the code from there. So I have added a Terraform file, and I'm gonna start writing some sample Terraform. So this is a fictitious code. Resource repo, add the name Azure Repo, then give out the location North Europe, the tags, tag 1. Alright, so now you've made the changes. You see right over here on the get sign, you see that there's one changes it shows, and if you click on the changes, it is going to show you what has been added. The green indicates that okay, something has been added, and this is still untracked. How do you kind of push that? So instead of writing a git commit or git add, what you could do is you could commit right from here, put a hash sign if you want to link this with some task. I'm gonna use a 24 task, I guess it was. What was this, 23? So go to, that's gonna be your work item name number, and then whatever you've done, added a Terraform file. That's it. Hit on the right, that's gonna commit the changes, and now you could push the changes right from your system. So you just type in git push, and since this is not your master branch, you set an upstream, and you see that the branch changes in the branch has been pushed. If you go back to our repo, we are going to see over here, if you click on the branch, you would see that your branch has appeared right over here, and all of your changes are kind of now you could compare this as well with the previous commit, and blame also to make sure that whosoever has made any changes, you want to let them know. So you could create a pull request right from here or over here as well. Go to the pull request. You don't have a pull request at the moment, click on the new pull request. So description, added a description, let this person know this is my first pull request, please review, so that whosoever is going to review the pull request, so those who are not fully aware of the pull request, it's one of those things when we don't want to work directly onto master branch. Pull request let others know about the changes you have pushed to your branch, and when you open a new pull request, which we're going to do right now, you can discuss and review the potential changes you've made with the collaborators and other team members, and they can let you know, okay, this looks okay, you can merge it back to the master branch. If they are not happy, probably they can push their own commits and cancel the pull request or add some more comments so that you can go ahead and make those changes, and once everybody is happy, you could push those changes onto the master branch. So you could add the reviewers right over here. At the moment I'm adding myself, however you could add multiple folks as well. You could link the work item. There's already one work item linked with this. I don't want to add more. You create the pull request, and you see that this particular folk has got the pull request right over here. It's one pull request pending, and this guy can see whatever the commits for which the pull request was made. If you're not happy, you could go ahead and make the comments as well. Probably something like, please don't hard code the name. You add the comment, and it's gonna ask for your approval, resolve. Okay, you're gonna say that, okay, I am going to add this into variable, hit reply, and You go back to your code editor, make sure you have pulled the latest changes, go back to your main file, probably create one more variable file, var.tf, and just add the variable name default Azure repo. Go back to your main file, just remove the hard-coded from here and use the name, and come back over here, see, verify whatever the changes you've made. This was added, this was removed, this file was particularly added. Punch in your commit or rather work item number, added var file, hit the right button and just push your changes, git push, and this is going to have the changes right over here. If you go back to your pull request, you would see that there's a commit which has been made, added a var file, and if you kind of come over here, you could approve its suggestions, wait for an author, wait for another author to approve it, or reject it. I'm gonna approve it with suggestion. Alright, let's try to refresh it again. You could also cherry pick and revert the changes as well. Go to your pull request again, and you would see that the pull request was approved with suggestions, and now this should be merged back to our master branch. Alright, hasn't been merged yet. Go back to the, come right over here, complete it, and this is going to merge it back to the master branch. So complete merge once you're happy, and this is the merging the pull request to your master branch now. No merge conflict, and if you go back to your files, and you would see that the main and the var file has now appeared. If you go to the history, you would see that okay, you created a branch from here and started making the changes, and you pushed all the changes from your branch to the master branch. Same set of details could be seen right from here as well. You working on this particular branch, hit a git pull, make sure all the changes are in, and you could also change back the branch, come back right over here, go to the history and see all the changes being made right over here. Alright, so that was about it. This is how you could maintain and see how you could manage the pull request. There are no pull requests active at the moment. There was one completed, nothing abandoned, and you could see what were the pull request about. You could see the commits, who updated what, and what were the activities which were done, what were the comments which were made, how did it go from one point to another point before it got merged. That's it for now. I hope this pull request session was informative and you'll be able to take some of the key pointers from this session. I'll see you in a while. Thank you.